JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 6th of April, 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the charts that we looked at this morning, some new ones, and yeah, as always, guys, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So. The content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is the German DAX. And looking at this picture here, you can see that the nice beautiful gap here to the upside that we got today. And well, I mean, it wasn't filled, of course, certainly. Yep, we've managed to first of all hit that area around the 15,300 zone, and then, well, maybe it's just slightly above it, but then we drifted back down a little. However, we're still currently trading not far from there. It will be quite interesting to see where we're going to end up being today, and in a way, and how this candle will look, because if this by any chance closes today in the red, then maybe a bit of a setback here could be possible, a move back down here, and maybe, just maybe, tomorrow we'll have ourselves a little opening gap here to the downside. This way kind of confirming a possible island reversal. But of course, guys, I mean, that does not happen. This is just an idea for you to keep in mind, and keep your eyes on today's daily candle. If it stays in the red, then maybe, just maybe, like I said, tomorrow we'll have a nice opening gap here to the downside, and this way we're getting ourselves here a nice possible island reversal. Now, jumping into NASDAQ 100, and look at this beautiful move here yesterday, and yep, the index pushed higher and cleared some of the levels here, and most importantly, it jumped above that 13,300 zone, the one that I kept talking about, and as what I said before, that if we get a daily candle staying above this area, then yes, this increases the chances for a possible further move north. And yep, this is exactly what happened. We've tested some of these key resistance levels and overcame them as well. And most importantly, we also overcame this barrier here, the 13,563. Let me just double check. Yep, 63, 64, which previously acted as a good area of resistance and also support, and we managed to stay above it. And yep, all this is looking quite nice here, quite positive. And of course, now the big question here is, will we get a further move north? Now, if we take a look at the cash index right now, we'll see that the price is currently trading around the 13,600. We're just slightly above that level, and basically slightly above where it closed yesterday. And now the next target is the 13,698 zone right here, which also was seen previously as a good area of resistance. If that gets cleared, well, I mean, it's only the all-time high is left here, which is currently at around 13,880 zone, and then of course we'll have to just take it from there. So for now, yes, we are leaning a little bit more towards the upside, and we'll most likely get another runaway gap here to the upside. So let's see how this is going to play out today. And yep, for now, unless this drops back below the 13,300 territory, somewhere around here, yep, I'm not really kind of examining the downside. Like I said, unless it drops below this, but even so, this could lead to a bit of a larger correction to the downside, because let's not forget that we're still trading above this upside support line taken from the low of the 5th of March. So keep your eyes on that one. DXY very quickly on this. So DXY is still kind of hanging, kind of slightly below this, trading slightly below these two lines, the downside one and the upside one. This is what I mentioned this morning, but if you remember, I said to you guys this morning to keep an eye on this 92.50 zone, which I need to see getting broken first before let's say aiming for lower areas. And for now, basically, long story short, I'm still kind of cautiously bearish, given also the fact that the index is back below the 200-day EMA, but yeah, cautiously bearish because of the of this little hurdle, this little 92.50 zone. And if that gets broken, of course, then yes, lower levels could be met and we could go for further declines. But at the moment, it's yeah, it is a bit of a tricky one. Now jumping into gold, and gold is climbing back up, and once again, after kind of a decline that we saw in the morning, so after I finished with my video, with my morning espresso, gold kind of declined back to the 21-day EMA. But what I was saying to you this morning in my video, that in order to go for some higher levels, well, we would like to see that push above that 1.39 territory. As you can see, it's currently testing it. It's very close to that area, and if we get a nice good pop today above this level, then of course, yes, higher levels could be met, and we could aim for that 1960 territory or even above that. So let's keep a close eye on this one today, and especially on that 1739 level. Ripple. So we're hitting the $1 mark. So I'm talking about here XRP against USD. So the rate hit the 1 level, and it overshot it as well, as you can see here. I mean, good spike here to the upside today. And this morning I talked about Ripple and what we were declining, but what I said that if it stays above this highlighted territory here, then yes, a good push higher could be possible. And look at this move. I mean, we've managed to overcome the previous high here, today's high, and we managed to hit a new high for today near the 1.0960 zone. And now the big question here is how far can this travel further north? I mean, of course, don't get me wrong, it does have a lot of room here because the previous higher kind of the previous all-time high is somewhere just slightly above that psychological 3 zone. But looking at this picture, I mean, yes, we had a nice good pop here. We will continue aiming higher, but very, very slowly and carefully. Now, what I would like to see a push above this 1.0960 territory in order to get a little bit more excited with further advances. But again, let's see if this psychological 1 zone is not going to really act as a strong resistance level. But again, like I said, I'll pick up on this one tomorrow just to see where we are at with this one, and yep, we'll take it from there. But for now, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside. The same story here with Litecoin pushing nicely. And last time when I covered Litecoin, I said that if we get a pop above the 205 territory, somewhere around here, my next target is the 230 level here, marked not far from the high of the 13th of March, or in other words, the highest point of March. And yep, we managed to reach that, and we managed to also overshoot it. And this, of course, kind of creates this nice positive atmosphere here. If the daily candle stays above this area, we could continue aiming higher. Certainly the next target is, and let me just probably adjust this very quickly here. And yep, the next target is the highest point of February, the current highest point of this year, near the 246.50 zone. And yeah, we'll take it from there, guys. Let's go slowly on this one, step by step. And yes, for now, like I said, for now, this is the game plan. And if we get this kind of daily candle staying above this territory, above this 230 zone, then yes, we could start looking at further higher levels. AUDUSD, quick update on this. If you remember last week, I talked about AUDUSD and I said that keep your eyes on this potential falling channel pattern here and this support zone right here, the 0.7557 area. So far, it's working out okay, I would say, because it's still within the falling channel, so there is still a good chance for this one to drift lower. It's still trading below the 21-day EMA, which also supports the downside scenario. But as I said, we need that drop below this hurdle, below the 0.7557 zone. And if we get that, then, and if we get the daily candle staying below this, then yes, of course, certainly we'll start looking at a possible move towards the 0.7462 area or this 200-day EMA. For the upside, well, I mean, the break of this upper side of the falling channel would be needed. So we cannot really go anywhere without kind of getting that break first, and then of course we'll start evaluating the upside scenario. But at the moment we're kind of leaning a little bit more towards the downside maybe on this one. However, as you can see from the shorter term perspective, the pair is kind of stuck in this little range. So either way, I mean, to be honest, anything could happen. But given that it's still within this falling channel pattern, we're keeping a close eye on the 0.7557 territory. USDCAD, quick update on this. So yep, having a nice reversal here from this downside line. So far this it's working out according to the idea mentioned before. That what I said, that in a way this downside line could prove to be a nice area of support. So the pair in a way could be sliding, but above this downside line. And this is what I mentioned last week. And now basically the quick let's say question here, even for myself, where will this go next? Because on one hand, the downside line is acting as a good area of support. On the other hand, we are trading now below the 21-day EMA, and kind of it's giving this little worry sign that not everything is good here in the bull block. And also, as I said before, I need to see a push above the 1.2590 territory. I would like to see the daily candle staying again above this area in order to get a little bit more excited with higher levels. But for now, as you can see, nothing's really kind of happening here. So, and we even with the downside, well, I need to see a stronger move below the 1.2505 zone here in order to consider maybe lower areas. GBPUSD, so this one, it drifted back down, so wiped out all the gains made yesterday, and now we're back basically to kind of square one. So the initially what I mentioned before was that if we get a pop above the 1.3847 territory, then of course, yes, we'll continue targeting the upside. And in a way, I would say that the upside scenario is kind of still on the table. However, will of course all dependent on the DXY and the whole kind of situation in the UK. For now, it's a little bit mixed, and this little weakness today is kind of really showing that there's no clear indication of where what to do with the pound right now. So that's why for now, basically, I'm gonna go step by step on this one, and first of all, I want to see if this is going to stay today above that 21-day EMA. Yes, we did have a drop initially below it, but will we stay today above this 21-day EMA? If we do, and above this 1.3847 territory, if we do, maybe we could see a nice reversal here. However, now at this point, as I said, I will go step by step, and I would prefer to maybe wait for a push above the today's high near the 1.3920 zone here, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. And if we get that push above this area, then of course, yes, higher levels could be met. EURGBP. Now this is where it's interesting because, the weakness in the pound here is playing out well here for the EURGBP bulls. Previously when I talked about this pair, I said that if we get a drop below the 0.8540 zone right here, then yes, lower levels could be met, and this is where I have drawn the arrow. I didn't really mark a good area here, but somehow this this worked out interestingly, that exactly where my arrow has been drawn, this is where it went down, tested the support slightly below the arrow, and then reversed to the upside. So basically that area was near the 0.8472 mark, and from here the pair is, you can see that it's reversing today to the upside. This is the level that I'm going to stick to for now in order to consider the downside. So a nice good drop below this yesterday's low here near the 0.8472, could open the door towards lower areas, because this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and further declines could be possible. But the fact that it's now pushing back to this 0.8540 zone, this is of course is raising a few concerns in the bear block. But the bull block is considering now potentially stepping in here and maybe driving this one higher. However, we'll be very careful with this hurdle. Yes, if we see the daily candle staying above the 0.8540, yes, this increases the chances for a possible further move north. However, I would like to see a stronger push above the above the 21-day EMA here, because as you can see, yes, recently we did have a push above the 21-day EMA, but the bears kind of kicked in and drove this one lower. So if you want to be very, very cautious, of course, you could wait for a push above the above this barrier, the 0.8628 zone, and a nice good move above it, yes, could open the door towards higher levels. Now, in case this, let's say, struggles to stay, or to move above the 21-day EMA, of course, certainly another slide here could be possible. But at this point, probably, yes, we will be looking at this hurdle, yesterday's low near the 0.8472, in order to consider the downside again. So keep your eyes on this. And finally, EURUSD. So pushing higher, and yes, managed to reach that 200-day EMA today. So good news for the buyers. However, let's see if we have enough steam to push the pair above this area and keep it above this area, above this 1.1834 zone, which coincides with the 200-day EMA. If we do, then higher levels could be met. We could start targeting the 1.1881 zone, or even above that. But if it struggles, then guys, I mean, maybe don't rush into those buys yet, and let's see how this is all gonna play out, because maybe we'll start reversing to the downside. Now let's get rid of this downside line. We no longer need it. It got violated. Now the main question probably is to keep an eye on some of the levels. So for the downside, I would probably start considering lower areas if we get a drop somewhere below the 1.1762 territory right here, and yes, if we get that move, then I'll start leaning a little bit more towards the downside. But if we get a clear break below the 1.17 territory, somewhere around here, now that's where it could become even more interesting for more sellers. But at the moment, the buyers seem to be in control. Can they move this pair further north? Again, we'll just have to wait and see, but we'll get a little bit more comfortable with the upside scenario if we get the daily candle today staying above this 200-day EMA and above the 1.1834 mark, and then we'll take it from there, guys. So that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys. So if you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.